to our interview segment. My guest, Mr. Mohammed Fawehinmi, is very passionate about the rule of law, fairness, and justice. Like his father, the late Gani Fawehinmi, is very well read and quick to speak out against injustice. Against the background of some recent acts of the military, I spoke to him about the military court-martial of some soldiers recently, the war against insurgency, and the memories he treasures most about his father 5 years after his passing. I know you followed closely the proceedings of the court-martial and where 12 soldiers were accused of mutiny, and now a death sentence has been passed on them. There's some rights activists that are faulting, the whole proceedings, that they were not given a right to fair hearing, their rights were violated. But what do you think of the whole proceedings, and what do you think of the chances of the soldiers on appeal?
I think they stand a very, very good chance on appeal. One, they should be given a fair hearing, which they've been denied in accordance with the Constitution, and in accordance with this case, Oladile and the Nigerian Army, which my late father championed, and why the soldiers made a bust in his honor, which is in the compound.
Yeah, because I know this family has a lot of history with soldiers.
Oh, yes. We've always had clashes, right from the time of Gowon. Gowon has been the most decent amongst them. The rest, I can't say much for Ibrahim Babangida and Abacha. Buhari, they didn't detain my dad. It shocked me. But be that as it may, the soldiers stand a very good chance on appeal, because first and foremost, the decision in that case was that it's a Nigerian citizen before it becomes a soldier. And I think the court-martial should have been done in a cyclo-styled manner, something unique, not the usual brash way. We just put some officers, put some brigadier generals there, try them, and go and dump them somewhere. For these ones, you release these ones you go and kill them. The morale of the soldiers for now, amongst their mates, particularly the junior ones, is going to be very, very low with that court-martial. I believe there are other ways of disciplining them, not going to kill them. And it shocked me that at this stage in our polity, we have one of the best chief of army staffs. Well, I knew Lieutenant General Kedaminima when I served in Benue. He was a major then, and my commander was Captain Mai, who's now Major General Mai. These are men who are professional soldiers to the core, and they've always had impeccable records. And when it was announced that he was going to be the chief of army staff, replacing Hejerika, I was too glad, because Hejerika performed below expectation. But with this court-martial, I think they should have a rethink. All the decisions should be set aside. I don't think they should embarrass the army by allowing that thing to go on appeal, because the army will lose in a very, very terrible way, whether at the Court of Appeal or at the Supreme Court or whatever level, because our laws do not support that sort of thing.
What does our law support?
Our law supports fair hearing, and if this sort of thing happened abroad, let me give a categorical example. In England or in UK or in Germany, these are established democracies. The first person that will be under investigation will be the Major General that was shot at. The questions will be, being in charge of the weapons, did you supply the weapons to those soldiers that were killed? If he didn't have the authority to supply the weapons, I was given the money. Did you supply the money to purchase those weapons for those soldiers? Because they always say Boko Haram is well equipped, the equipment they have are better than those of the Nigerian. I don't believe Boko Haram got those weapons outside this country. I believe there are some people who fund Boko Haram in this country. We have intelligent graduates in the army. Bring that professionalism to the fore. Call these boys, question them. There are ways you can talk to them. These boys saw their mates who they trained together and were sent on a job. They gladly took those jobs, but got there and found out they were overpowered, and some of them died. I'm a human being. If the body of my friend is dumped in my presence, I know how I would feel. So that's how they felt. See the guy who is even doing, maybe one of them actually misfired. Yes, you can arrest him. The military police can arrest him. Calling me for questioning. We're still in a situation of war. Let all that be put aside. Let's finish the war and win the war against Boko Haram. Then you can now question those boys.
Apart from the court martial, the soldiers are also in the news because now the Lagos State governor has set up a tribunal of inquiry into the clash between the BRT drivers and some army. An incident that happened in July 4th. You're following that too. What do you think, would be the outcome of this tribunal? Do you think that's the right step to go?
Look at that. Is that not a decent way of doing things? Set up a tribunal of inquiry. Let's know what really happened. We have lost a life. Every Nigerian life is precious. That's a decent way of doing things. And that's a senior advocate acting. That's a man we're proud of. That's Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN.
Let's round off talking about one of Nigeria's greatest human rights activists, Gani Fawehinmi. It's been 5 years now since they passed on. What do you think of the level of activism in the country now?
It has gone down, and it's a disgrace and an embarrassment. Some of our guys have allowed money to remove that passion to think of helping your fellow man. I don't want to mention names. And some of the students who activism usually starts from, particularly nuns, some of them are being given Prado, paid 500,000 a month. They're even giving themselves titles now. Now, instead of being a speaker of the students' union, some are calling themselves Senate president. They'll print card and give you their business card.
Do we get back the kind of caliber of activists that Gani was?
There are very few of us now. First, you have to understand now, if you're going to be an activist, you must have your own job.
Activism is not a job.
Activism is a job, but you must be able to make it productive. You know, in those days, if I publish something and I say, this is what I published. Mohammed, I want to read it. How much are you selling it? No. But now, if you say you're an activist, so I only ran it. So I want to collect money. Mohammed, sorry, I'm not abusing you. Go your way. No, there's that reduction of respect for activists, because a lot of people, you see a government contractor and an activist waiting to see the president or a governor. How are you going to blast that governor or that president if he does something wrong? Because if they have jobs, they will know that, yes, I'm earning money from here. Not one governor will say, look, I don't want people to make noise. I want to enjoy my tenure. Look, I'll give you 20 million. Bullshit him and his 20 million. Let him know that when the time comes, when you go wrong, we will tell it to your face. Because activism saves lives, improves the society, makes people realize their rights, and makes people achieve their rights, not just realization. So it's very, very crucial.
What are the moments in Gani's activism that you recall as being memorable?
Well, the greatest moment for me was the day he was taken to, was tried for Honorable Justice Ayembuna, and late Justice Kesinti, so rest in peace, was the prosecutor, was the director of public prosecution on the other side. You know, they both went to school. That was the day I saw and I understood what activism was about. People gathered. There were more than 50,000 people, I think, in my own estimation, then all the lawyers. If you're going to try Gani, we are going to boycott all the courts. That was when I knew that, yes, what this man is doing is meaningful. That day, I felt proud to say, yes, this is my father. You know, and from that day on, I too started thinking, yes, when it's my own turn, when I do this, I would like to get this sort of support. But the day that broke my heart was the day we went to Yaba, and one bar policeman was dragging him on the floor, and Bakasaf, who was the commissioner of police, had to stop him. I was infuriated that day, but my dad gave me an instruction. He said, no matter what happens, stand in that corner and observe. Don't come near. He was there, Falana was there, Becker was there, and there was one other prominent. Falana jumped on the statue and was making a lot of noise. shouting, declaring, protesting. My dad was being dragged on the floor. He was wearing a blue brocade. I can still remember vividly. That day, I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't given that instruction. Or maybe, God forbid, maybe my life might have ended because no son will stand by and watch his dad do that.
And this is where we end today's episode of the program. These and past episodes are on our YouTube page, and you can interact with me via Facebook, email, or Twitter. I'm Shola Sheyeli. Thank you for watching.